Bitcoin is tricking you, but this is a real move we're gonna see this week here. Every single time we broke old highs, we needed to retest them, and it is exactly happening right now. The ETF inflows remains low here, and that is something we really want to keep an eye on as well. Ethereum just set a new all-time high, but do we need to worry about this pattern here? Also, the Ethereum ETF inflows are still healthy but taking down. So this is what we're gonna discuss in this video. Please make sure to subscribe over on my YouTube channel to never miss an update ever again, and like this daily update video if you love those updates. And let's dive right away into the chart for now, because what we can see here is that Bitcoin is tricking you. We have here a distribution pattern, a manipulation towards the upside where everyone thought we will get a moonshot towards the upside, created a new all-time high, but this was the move, the manipulation move before the expansion here to take all the shorts out. So this was the manipulation move. We took all the shorts from the distribution zone out, then we got that expansion towards the upside. But right now we have a manipulation as well here, because we have been accumulating around the lower side of these ranges here. All the people were long from of this point towards the upside, and if everybody lays towards one side of the market, we will probably take the other side around here, and that is exactly what we have been seeing here. So right now all the short have been liquidated, all the longs have been liquidated, and that is exactly what we want to be seeing for the next move towards the upside here, and that will be expansion towards the upside. And this is exactly why you don't want to get fooled by these manipulation zones here and just want to anticipate on the next move from off this point after manipulation happened. Also, what we can see is every single time we set a top and we broke out of it, we retested it. So we set a top here, we broke out of it, and we retested that top perfectly here. That is exactly happening right over here. We created the top, we broke out of it, we retested it, and that was the next expansion towards the upside. Right now we set a top as well, and currently we are perfectly retesting that top, and this is very nice price action we are seeing from the last few months, and I am literally expecting here that we will see a bounce anytime soon for Bitcoin from off this old highs, because that is how price action works here. So that looks very good in my opinion. Something I really want to keep an eye on, and I've been saying it in previous videos as well, is I really want to see the Ethereum the Bitcoin ETF inflows increase, because what we are seeing right now is a big decrease of inflows, and even we see bigger outflows here, and that is not something we want to be seeing in this market sentiment. Of course, we have been dumping here for really well here. And what we want to see here, that if we dump towards the downside, that people are still interested in buying Bitcoin in the ETFs. And that is something we are not seeing right now. And that is really something you want to keep an eye on. Because of course we drop further towards the downside, and that is not a really big problem. But people need to be interested in buying, and that is something we don't see right now. So before I open up some very big positions, I really want to see the Bitcoin ETF inflows coming in once again. Something other bullish here, what we can see is that we created a very big CME gap towards the upside here. So we traded towards the downside in the weekend, and we need to clear this zone. So there is a probability that we will clear the CME gap and then move further towards the upside. If we clear the CME gap, then we will probably have a 4% pump. So that is a trade you could easily take here if everybody falls in line. Then for Ethereum, a chart that is really important, because I've been talking about this Bitcoin swipes for a while, because it is really important, and this is how the market works. It is a liquidity driven market, and that is something you really want to keep an eye on. Exactly the same is happening right now over on Ethereum. So we set a high on Bitcoin, we did exactly the same. Then we dumped towards the downside, set a low. We dumped towards the downside and set a low. Then we had that pump towards the upside. We have the pump towards the upside. We created a new all-time high. We created a new all-time high. We swiped the old high, so we came above the old high. That's exactly what we have been seeing here on Ethereum as well. And after that, we saw that move towards the downside to swipe the lower side here. And then eventually there is a big probability for a next leg towards the upside. So right now, this is something that is really unfolding on Ethereum. And I'm not surprised if we see a swipe from off this low and then see a move towards the upside. We took all the shorts out right now, and that is a really good time to push the price down towards the lows. Everyone is long from off this point. If we pump right now directly towards the 6k, too much people in the market are making money, and that is not something we want to be seeing here. So if we move towards the downside to take out this low, we took out either the longs and the shorts, and that is exactly what we want to be seeing for the next pump towards the upside. And that is exactly what we are anticipating on Bitcoin as well. So this Bitcoin pattern we have been seeing here for the past days is literally unfolding on Ethereum right now, and that is something you want to keep an eye on as well, because we know all how this ended up for Bitcoin here. Then also some liquidity swipes here, and it is not a really bad thing, but it is something I really want to keep an eye on as well, and I want to learn to you how important liquidity is in the market, because every single time, every single top before a big move towards the downside was a swipe here. So what did we saw? We saw a top right over here, and we pumped towards the upside, and that was our all-time high exactly above that top. And after that, we saw that massive bear market towards the downside. After grabbing this liquidity, this was the start of the move. Then what we saw here as well is we created a high here. We swiped it, and it is a little swipe, but you can see that price came above it. And after that, we saw that dump towards the downside for Ethereum. So this swipe was also a start of the move towards the downside. Right now, we swiped old highs to create a new all-time high. But we really want to see Ethereum getting strong enough to stay above that all-time highs. Otherwise, there is a possibility to get a correction towards the downside after this swipe. So is this something to worry about? No, obviously not, but we really want to see strength getting into Ethereum here, because if Ethereum getting weaker and weaker around these highs, there is a big opportunity that we can keep dropping towards the downside. Of course, if we keep dropping towards the downside, this is the biggest opportunity of your life to get into Ethereum, because we are currently in a very big uptrend. So this can maybe signal for a little cool down to scoop up some more orders to get Ethereum strong enough to stay above those liquidity zones. Then something which is pretty good for Ethereum is that the inflows continues. So we saw a massive inflow in ETFs here. We saw 2 days of outflows, then we saw a massive inflow as well. We saw a few days of outflow, and now we are currently seeing inflows once again. And this is a really good sign, because people are interested in investing in the ETF of Ethereum. And this is exactly what we want to be seeing at this point of the market around new all-time highs. And that is something we are seeing on Ethereum right now. What we are not seeing on Bitcoin. Then a really important chart is the Bitcoin dominance. We have been literally talking about this pattern for months here, and we broke down. We broke this low, perfectly retested it, and I literally said in my videos that this is the right time to scale into altcoins, and we have been seeing a dump over and over again. So we have been predicting the Bitcoin dominance literally exactly here. You can watch my previous videos, and we keep getting dropped towards the downside. Right now we are sitting at some interesting points. We really want to see price dropping below these points and Eventually, we want to see this low getting broken here to see the real altcoin season getting started. So this is really good to see for altcoins, and altcoin season is literally knocking on the door. And I really think that if we break this low, then it is the real party is gonna start here, and we will create some millionaires here in this cycle. Then that was it for today's video. Please make sure to subscribe over on my YouTube channel, like this daily update videos, and I will see you tomorrow by a brand new Crypto Daily Update video.